let's examine the configuration of PortaBilling to support our electric vehicle charging scenarios. First of all, we go to Service Catalog and we go to Services. So PortaBilling supports virtually any service, and I defined, in addition to our regular telecom services, two new ones. Energy consumption service, which is measured in kilowatt hours. So that's the units in which we're going to collect the consumption information. We're going to define pricing, and based on that, we're going to create charging. And then I also created a new service called charging session. That's just measured in sessions. So a single visit to charging station is going to count as one. And this is to implement various restrictions on how many concurrent charging or how many chargings per day is allowed. Then what I have a tariff which defines our regular rates for energy consumption at the station. And here you just need single rate, which says kilowatt hour is going to be charged at 20 US cents per kilowatt hour. Very basic, very simple. We can add a lot of flexibility if we need to, but for now, this is sufficient. And then for our first very basic scenario, pay as you go, this is pretty much all what I need. I have a product called pay as you go, and that product includes the service we just saw, and I attach a tariff, which also we just have seen. I attach it here. So I'm saying when a customer uses the service, this is how they are going to be charged. And I created a test customer. So we have John Doe. Right now he has balance of $0 and credit limit of 200. And under John, we have one account. So that's something which will actually authorize to use the service. So it can be a license plate, a vehicle identification number, or some other kind of secure token that we know it's actually him. But for now, for our testing, we're just going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an account identifier. And to see how our charging is going to work, I'm not going to wait while I'm driving to the charging station. I'm going to use this web interface, which provides documentation about REST API for charging to PortaBilling, and we can also test method execution right here from web interface. First, let me log in, because we don't want some strangers to send charging data to our platform. And first, let's test the authorization of the service. So let's say user just arrives to a charging station, and we want to see, to verify that he's actually our valid customer and he is allowed to use that service. And we have to provide the actual relevant information here. So in this case, it has to be the relevant data. So we are requesting authorization for 100 kilowatt hours. So the request was successfully executed, and we see we got our authorization of 100 kilowatt hours, so we know it's a valid customer. Just to demonstrate, if we try to request some huge amount of data, no, it's not possible. We're only allowed up to 1,000 kilowatt hours because it's based on our credit limit. And now let's simulate a situation when customer successfully charged his or her vehicle and they drove off, and now we have to apply charges to their account based on the amount of energy consumed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is our account ID. Here we're providing information. Let's assume they used up 90 kilowatt hours on that charge. We receive a confirmation that we successfully executed the charging request, and let's take a look how it's going to be presented on PortaBilling web interface. So now if we open that account 12345 and look for XDRs, extended detail records, which are going to be basically transactions for charging. Well, we see there was one session for charged quantity 90 kilowatt hours, and the charged amount was $18. And that is going to be reflected on the customer balance. Right? So they have a bit less time. And of course, at the end of the month, customer would receive an invoice. They have an option to pay their balance by credit card or look into automated charging.